Hi and welcome to this short tutorial explaining the platform, the overview of the platform, and some of the basic functionalities that you can experience in this trial. When you've started the platform, you get a welcome message, but when you close that and when you log into the platform afterwards, you will always be shown the calendar. From the calendar, you can coordinate, manage, and get an overview of all the different tasks within your organization. The platform is divided in a menu on the left and then different pages wherever you navigate to in the menu. So as we said, we have the planning page where we have a calendar and we can add meeting, different matches, scouting tasks, and so forth. Also, we have a short, quick option to create a new player, new match, new scouting task, a new meeting, maybe even a new team if we want to create a new target team, for instance. Besides that, we also have this button where you can choose to add a report on a player, whether it's an existing player, a match report where you create the match and then you assign that match to any scout, maybe yourself, and then you can add one or many reports to the players participating in the match that you find relevant. Or you can create a new player and make a report directly on that. On the left side, we have a menu where we have all players. So this is basically your database with all the players within your system. These can be filtered by searching any kind of player. Then it finds that. We can clear that. We can look at players in various positions from a certain age perspective and then filter that. So this is basically your database. My organization is all your internal team. So if you have internal users of it, coaches and their internal teams, and they use the same kind of scouting methodology to evaluate internal players, then these are organized under my organization, where if you click on internal players, it will filter those players that you regarded as internal players. The scouting section, however, have a list of all the match and task that's been created and assigned to various scouts. It has a list of the players that scouted, being all the external players, and it has different target teams that you can create, where you can associate the players to and move them to. And finally, on the methodology area, you have the talent ID, where you define the various aspects that you want scouts to report on based on position and on age group within your club playing style or the methodology that you work under. On the lower part here, you have the admin panel, where you basically, as an administrator, can add and connect all the data. So if you want to add various clubs, positions, skills, which are the abilities that you're looking for in the players, leagues, countries, groups, which are all from age group to other kind of groups. A match note, which is basically the scouting template. What kind of information do you want the scout to report on as well? Background information, parent information, whatever. Then you add those as categories and you use them in the scouting report. And also here you have the user and security, where you have the overview of all the users, and you can add new users depending on what platform you've bought. And you can change security access for those users individually. But let's just briefly, before going any deeper into that, look at how simple it is to make a report. So when we go to the calendar, we click on new player, and we basically want to create a report on an existing player. It could be this player. You can see it pops up with a tutorial, and you can click here and then it opens an article describing this flow. So when we want to create a report, we basically define what talent ID to use. In this trial, a talent ID has been selected by default, a standard report, and then you make a recommendation. This can be changed and modified by yourself, what range you want to work under and which kind of description for these different levels within the recommendation. And then we can add a note. Cultural values are the characteristics within the player. Again, the amount of cultural values and the range can be modified by yourself. This is just what the trial has been added from the beginning. Also the description can be changed. To see how all that is controlled, view the tutorial which you have in the welcome page called How to Customize Your Language. The talent ID for this player that was selected was the striker, and then under the talent ID section we have a striker for that age group, where you define under the different categories. Again, these categories can be modified, the amount and the description of it, and the range as well. And then you define under the talent ID which abilities are relevant for that position. And again, I will emphasize the amount of abilities and the amount of categories and what abilities that should concise to that kind of position for that age group. You can control that individually throughout the entire platform. And then we talked about the different templates you want to use. Then you add the categories here under the admin panel, and then you can add parent information, background information, injury history, whatever. And then when that report is created, then you just click create, and then that report will be shown here under the player profile, and you'll be able to export that. So I hope this very short tutorial showed you how to navigate, how to get the experience of creating a player within the platform. We have different tutorials describing how to use the app for this purpose as well, how to coordinate scouting tasks, what kind of overview you get. So again, on the welcome message, as you see here, we have the tutorial you're looking at right now, and then we have various tutorials describing how to perform a player report, how to coordinate a scouting task, how to customize your scouting setup. I wish you good luck and hope that you will, at any time, if you have any questions, just reach out to us using the chat down here, and then starting chatting with our support team, and in that way, getting instant help whenever you need it.